else does it? Check, check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2. Go. There we go. All right. It's never a live stream unless I happen to screw up this thing. So what's going on is OBS will completely forget the mixer. It doesn't matter what the USB mixer is. As soon as I unplug it, plug it back in, even though everything sets itself back to that mixer, OBS doesn't. And Adobe is pretty much the same way. So guys, I wanted to do a very impromptu live stream because I have been keeping my mouth shut about Mediamaster 5.1 for quite some time. Now, I've talked about it a little bit, but I really couldn't go into the details. So now that they've made that announcement, hey, why not? I want to show you how insanely powerful Mediamaster has become. If you are, and again, Grand VJ is insanely powerful too, don't get me wrong, and you're going to see a lot of these features in Grand VJ. But we'll talk about Grand VJ XT later. For now, it's all about Mediamaster. Why do I prefer Mediamaster? Well, let's go ahead and take a look over here. First of all, let me transition over. Look at this. Like, for me, I am very, very ADD. You know, I want to see everything in one shot. And Grand VJ doesn't give me that like Mediamaster does. I can see everything. I can choose my visuals right then and there. I can switch back and forth between text. And all that comes with a much higher price tag, of course, if you're adding the video mapping. If you're not, it's not as bad if you don't need video mapping. But the other great thing is that I can actually save my positions. Grand VJ, you cannot save positions. Mediamaster, you can. You also have some incredible DMX options. But again, we'll kind of do like a comparison later on. I just really want to talk about the new features. And if you guys have any questions on Mediamaster, leave them in the chat below. If you're watching this post live stream, then leave a comment below and I'll do my best to answer. First of all, let's talk about the new features in Mediamaster itself. Let me switch back over here. Sorry, my goodness, I really should have made a transition button. So let's go ahead and go over the first one. First of all, it has a brand new video mapper, and I've talked about this before, that combines edge blending with the video mapper. So essentially, I can take 2 projectors, or 3, or 4, however, do the soft edge blending, and then I can video map. I have been wanting this for quite some time when I do things like pipe and drape, because when I'm projector mapping pipe and drape, I use the soft edge blend, but then if I want pipe and drape that's different height, I can't really map around it. So then if I have that, then I have to use the regular video mapper and I have to hit the projector just right and then have a crease in the pipe and drape. Otherwise, you're going to see that split. So I'm really happy that they're doing that. I also had a wedding not that long ago that we were projecting on the pipe and drape, and I had to stack the projectors because we were too close. So one did one half, the other one did the other half, and you could see the line right down the middle, no matter which way we did it. So I'm really happy to see that edge blending with the video mapping. That is mind-blowing. You also have support for the new ClickForce LED. This insanely powerful LED driver will make your life a lot easier if you have pixel tape, because you can mix and match different kinds of pixel tape. Not voltages, but protocols. Even if it's red, green, blue, or red, green, blue, and white. And I've done some videos on the, what's it called, ClickForce LED. I'll be doing some more videos on that too. You also now have, you know, it's got enhanced support of CleanNet protocol, improved detection of CleanNet devices. I know some of the stuff that they're working on. I don't want to discuss that, but let's just say it's big what they have in mind. You now have the custom canvas size in the video mapper for better control of the rendering solution. You may have heard me witch about this. I'm like, crap, I really wish I can, you know, really put different sizes in there besides just your typical. So you now do have a full custom canvas size. It does have now full support for Mac OS until 10.13, which is a new High Sierra. And then Spout and Siphon. So this is exciting. It's had Siphon for quite some time. Siphon is a Mac OS protocol that basically allows me to grab input. I'm going to do the demo live in just a second. It allows me to grab the input from, let's say, Virtual DJ or Serato or any Siphon compatible device and feed it directly into Mediamaster. Now, there's people that have made apps like Siphon over IP, so I can have Virtual DJ running on a different computer, and I'll be doing some videos on that. The problem was that it was automatic in Mediamaster and Grand VJ. So if I ran Virtual DJ afterwards, or a Virtual DJ or Serato, whatever, crashed, which happened with Serato, and I restarted it, the siphon loop that disconnected, so it grabbed its own siphon loop or siphon output, because Mediamaster does give out its own siphon output. So it basically just kept giving me a visual feedback. Now I have 4 individual siphon inputs that I have. And if you're on Windows, there's a Windows version that's been newly developed not that long ago, but it's new to a lot of you guys, and that's called Spout. And now this has Spout support too. So this also works if you have, for example, somebody wants to use Resolume for God knows what reason. Resolume works with Spout, so you could literally go out from Resolume into Mediamaster. I'm sure you could do vice versa. I'd have to find out about Spout out on Mediamaster, but that is huge. Also, if you're on ArtNet devices, there's definitely new unicast and broadcast, much more improved, much faster too. I mean, it'll just bam, pick it up right away. So that was really nice. And it now has support for multiple network interfaces. And I'm kind of going back and forth here, making sure nothing in the chat has popped up that needs to pop up. So, or no questions that I need to answer. So let's go ahead and look into the siphon, shall we? In the back, I have Virtual DJ running. Let me switch Virtual DJ. Maybe. There it is right there. And Virtual DJ 8, you just download the Siphon Server plugin and activate it. And there it is. Now this will appear, this little, the actual output window popped up on one of my other monitors. Not a big deal. It doesn't even matter if it's running or not. You can just close out of it as long as this is activated. All right. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit play. Okay. Very good there. Now, I'm going to go into Mediamaster. Now that I have Mediamaster running, I'm going to go into my devices. And we're going to scroll all the way down. And it's on DMX channel 241, because again, these are all different channels basically. Or folder 241. And there are our 4 spouts. So this is really exciting because again, if you spout over IP, and let's say you have 2 DJs, you can now feed both into Mediamaster. I'll be doing more videos on that. This is automatically going to go into generator number 1. I'm going to bring this up and watch what happens. Bam! Look at that. Look at that. Look, guys, this is exciting because I'm actually streaming everything on the same MacBook. This is the MacBook 2012. I'll show you that real quick. And yes, I chose Ariana Grande because I absolutely love Ariana Grande. Y'all be quiet. And I'm not even using an eGPU. I'm just using the NVIDIA GeForce GT650, the 512 megabyte card with the, it's got the Intel HD graphics that's currently not being used, 16 gigs of RAM and SSD. I'm running Mediamaster. It doesn't have an output right now, but even the output would be on the NVIDIA, not on the Intel. I have Virtual DJ running. I have OBS running, which is broadcasting to you guys, plus multiple YouTube windows. And I don't know how smooth it looks on yours because OBS is outputting at the 15 frames a second. But you can see here that the GPU is coming in at 38 to 45. That's internal. If I turn this on, which I can't because it'll shut off the live stream for some reason, that's OBS. It just overrides it. It brought it down to about 30 frames a second, which is still phenomenal on this computer. That also shows how great Mediamaster really is with picking up, or not picking up, but really using that multi-threaded engine. So, really, I mean, it's working pretty damn well. Let's go ahead and see if I can open up. I think I have another Mediamaster or another siphon window. So let's open that up real quick. Let me see if I have that. Let's see. That siphon virtual screen. I don't know if that's it or not. Oh, no, that's definitely not it. Whatever I just did, that was not it. No, that's the one where I can, yeah, nope, that's a different program altogether. That literally creates a VGA port. So I could, like, for example, feed PowerPoint to it, and then that would appear. You know what? Let's give that a try. I don't know if it'll work. So why not? Let's see if it'll do it. I'm going to go ahead and close Virtual DJ because I'm about to run PowerPoint, and I do not want to test the stress limits of my Mac. So there we go. Oh, I'm so sorry you guys could not hear me on there. I didn't realize loopback was on. I apologize. Basically, I was just saying that my MacBook, it's, you know, you saw the specs on it. It's a 2012 half gig of video RAM that's not even being used. It's still using the internal card. and this computer was blazing, running Virtual DJ, OBS, which is what I'm streaming to you guys, and the music and everything else. So the new Arceus multi-threaded engine is just phenomenal. So now let's go ahead and run the Siphon virtual screen. I don't know if this will work. I didn't even think about testing it, but let's go ahead and check this out. I'm going to go ahead and run Keynote over here. Let's see how well this works. No, I'll run my last seminar that I did there. I don't know if this is going to work, to be honest with you, but I'm really curious now. And we're going to go over here, slideshow, open display preferences. Oh, I think it opened my system preferences, whatever. It used to show me which way I wanted to bring my... Oh, I guess I won't be able to. So basically before, what it did is it's a free app. It's just called Siphon Virtual Screen. And it would allow me to literally siphon like PowerPoint or anything. It would appear as an external display. Let me see if you can see it on here. See, I've only got 3 monitors. One of these is Siphon. So that's pretty much what's happening. What I need to find out is where I can switch on my... I don't know. Let's try it. Now... it will not let me do it on this because it's going to be a pain in the butt for me. Sorry, but either way, I would have my Siphon virtual screen, and I can open that up over here. And I don't know if it'll show up or not. Ah, there it is. There's my Siphon virtual screen. So again, if PowerPoint was working, or Keynote was working, I may have to try to use PowerPoint. You can now feed PowerPoint directly into Mediamaster. So this is Siphon. I believe there's a Spout virtual screen as well. So basically, if you're using, for example, something like Jamtext, I'll actually open up Jamtext right now. Why the hell not? There it is right here. And we're going to open up our display preferences. Or actually, I'll just drag it over. We're good. I kind of wish you guys could see the entire setup over here. All right. And again, if you guys have any questions or anything while I fight with my mouse, please let me know, and I will be more than happy to answer those questions for you. My goodness, how hard is it to find a freaking mouse here? All right, there we go. All right. And let's see if it'll let me drag it over. There we go. So there is my Jamtext screen there. This is not a monitor that I have attached. I only have 2 monitors attached to my system, and yet it's seeing that 4th one because you have the laptop plus 2 additional ones. So that is Siphon virtual screen. So you guys can imagine the possibilities of using an app like that. Same thing with Siphon over IP or anything as such. Siphon is absolutely powerful. So again, if you have Windows, I do apologize because you're not, I don't know as far as Spout, and I can certainly try it out. But hopefully that gives you guys an idea there. So now we have Virtual DJ on Spout number 1, which I just shut down, but still. And then we have Spout number, or Siphon number 2, which is essentially the virtual screen. And now let's see if I have... Nope, I don't have a... I used to have a Siphon email. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Siphon SDK public beta. All right, so now I'm going to run, my goodness, let's see, Siphon. Oh, I guess I don't have the Siphon one on me. Yes, I do. I know I do. Server demo. Okay. So now I'm going to open another Siphon screen. Oh, nope, never mind. This one is the outdated siphon. So either way, I mean, you guys get the idea. I can run virtual DJ, which right now is disconnected. That's why you see that. And then you can also run your any other siphon compatible programs. If, for example, you are a church and you use Pro Presenter, one of the cool things is that now, you could technically feed Pro Presenter directly to Mediamaster. So the possibilities totally become become unlimited. Mike Anderson asks, how do you get a free copy of Mediamaster? Well, you can go online and download the same beta that I'm playing with right now. It has been open to the public. If you guys are interested in buying one, you definitely want to talk to your local Elation rep, and they can get you guys set up. Let's go ahead and go into the next one, and that is the video mapper. So let me close a couple of these windows and everything else here. Let me close this guy, which is going to make my system go crazy for just a moment. So we just quit Siphon Virtual Screen. And I got to tell you, it works much better now than it did a few years back, because we no longer have to worry about the Siphon feedback because of Mediamaster feeding Siphon onto itself. All right, so next, I want to talk to you guys about the projector mapper. Let's go ahead and go into our display. And we're going to go into our video mapper. And I apologize if my P's are popping quite a bit. I don't have a pop filter on this. I need to go pick one up, and I keep forgetting about it. So, yeah. I need to put like a tip jar on these videos, because all this comes out of my pocket. All right. So, let's see here. Waiting. Oh, it might not let me because I'm on the beta. Okay, so you'll see that it's momentarily crashing with the beta, and that does happen occasionally. Again, that's why it's a beta. If you guys ever have that happen to you with Mediamaster, super easy. You're going to go to your Documents folder, and then Arceus should be... Nope, sorry, that's LED Master. I have mine in a different folder. Wherever your Mediamaster library is, in my case, it's under Arceus Visuals, and you're going to see a folder on the very bottom that says Video Mapper. Delete both folders. Or not both folders, both files in there. Video Mapper. And, oh, it's popping up on my other one. And then, okay, because it's coming up on my virtual screen. Well, that's awesome. That was not supposed to happen. Let me see if I have another version that I can run on here real quick. Hang on one second. There we go. This is one of the original alphas that we have. So the beta may look slightly different, but the beta's not wanting to pop up on mine because it's giving... I don't know what is going on. I see it over here, but then it crashes on that side. So basically, you have your... If you have your multiple projectors, right? We have, I guess it's showing A1 and A2. If you have, let's say, for example, your other screen, which mine isn't going to show because it's a display link, you would put both of them together. You set your soft edge blend settings just like normal, but now you can video map directly to it. And remember that if you do have multiple outputs, so there's a couple draft displays here. We'll put one on top of the other right there. There's a surface. There's a surface. Let's say you've got two different outputs. You can stack them together. Now, it doesn't let me do that on the draft displays, I don't think. I've never seen it actually let me do it on the draft display. Yeah, it won't let me do it on the draft display. But basically, I could take one, one output and stack it on top of the other, and basically creates one output out of it. Now, that's going to be very different with LED walls, so you need to talk to whoever you bought your LED walls about doing that, because if you're not careful and you try to mix and match cards, which you shouldn't, it should only be one GPU, you're going to have a clock sync issue, and it's not going to look right. Living Motion Monograms. Mike Anderson asks, how well do the small Apple computer boxes do with running either Grand VJ or Mediamaster? It depends on which one. The 2012 is more powerful than the newer ones even. If you do the same thing I did, and you'll be able to run 2 or 3 layers, no problem there. There's a couple Mac Minis that are more powerful in this MacBook as far as, the processor. Put, a couple of good hard drives in there, and you're good to go. There's one that came with like a 1 gig NVIDIA card. Yeah, that'll have some oomph behind it. So if you're looking for a portable machine, by far, that is definitely it. So anyhow, so you do have the edge blending on the video mapper, which is super exciting. And, oh, let me go back now towards, we have ClingNet. You have the LED mapper. So we're going to open up our LED mapper. And there's LED mapper 3. Oh, that one lets me drag. Before it was a pain because if we were trying to run ClingNet and ArtNet in the same network, you'd have to have 2 different network switches or you'd have a calamity of clashing. Now I can choose which network card. Instead of having to like open one and make sure it's the right one, switch cables around, I can choose it. I can edit it if I need to. So there's where I can edit the IP range. I can, choose a new one altogether. I don't want to go too much into how to use this, but hopefully you guys understand how ArtNet works. This is using ArtNet 3.0. So if you have the ADJ, for example, ADJ Airstream DMX, you could wirelessly connect to this with Airstream. The beautiful thing about ArtNet 3.0 is that it works amazingly well over Wi-Fi, much better than it really should. So I'm a big fan of that. I wish they added some streaming ACN support, but in reality, how many lights, that are pixel mappable or streaming ACN? But to communicate with a couple of the boxes would be nice. But, it is what it is. ArtNet 3 is really getting in there in terms of options and such. All right, let's get out of there. And now let's look at our ClingNet mapper. And again, I cannot point out how exciting it is that the siphon and spout inputs are in there because now you can capture pretty much virtually any program and feed it directly into Mediamaster. And the amount of support that there is for siphon and all these free apps and spout is just phenomenal. So again, this is the new ClingNet mapper, pretty similar. We're already used to this one. Not a lot for your preferences. There's not a lot really you have to worry about because ClingNet is as automatic as it can get. It'll show you it'll show you your connected devices, your mapped objects, your drag and drop, but why am I hiccuping? Bada bing, bada boom, and you are good to go. Going back over here to the chat comments, I do believe that is everything there. Yep, okay, so far those are the comments that are coming in. I'm just kind of keeping an eye, make sure I've answered everything so far. And in case you guys haven't seen some of the options that were there before, of course, you have Media Hub. If you do not have 5.0, this is the #1 reason to get 5.0. So let's go ahead and open our Media Hub. And it would be right over here. So let's see. We have 20 different versions of Mediamaster. There's our Media Hub. Media Hub allows you to do 2 different things. One, it allows me to have my, let's say this was running on a different computer altogether, right? I could actually be able to connect to my Archaea's Mediamaster, not just one, but as many of them as I need to, and I can drag and drop, even if I don't have Archaea's in the computer that I have this little app open on. I can drag and drop photos, rearrange folders, rename, not rename, but redo whatever I need to do. If I have multiple Archaea's computers linked together, I can have my master library right here, and then sync and check everything, synchronize everything. And I can check even, right here it shows, 59 frames per second. It shows my CPU. So it really allows you to just see so much. And this is great because a lot of us run Mediamaster in fixture mode. And we're controlling Mediamaster with a HOG or MA or CompuShow. And we don't have the computer near us, especially with the CITP MSEX protocol. MSEX, MSEX, I have no idea how you really say that out loud. But with that protocol that allows me to preview the videos and see the thumbnails on my actual DMX console, this now allows me to literally see the actual video clip. So I can go over here, for example, let's say I say, I have a video and I'm playing Pitbull's Fireball. And the fire clip, I'm like, I don't like the fire clip. So I can real quick download a fire clip if I need it, go into my fire folder, whatever. I'll just open this one up for an example, and then I can drag and drop it. Done. Easy. So big fan of that. Love how they did that. It synchronizes insanely fast. So yeah, that is the Media Hub. You also have the Q Player, which was available, I want to say in 4.2.3. I've done videos on Q Player as well. There's some DMX control for the Q Player. The auto patch is cool. The auto patch, let's go into our show settings right here. So instead of having to worry about, where is it? There we go. Instead of having to worry about the individual, trying to map everything out, there's already some pre-made not pre-made profiles, but there's basically pre-made patches. You can also patch automatically if you need to. So let's see here. There's ArtNet. I can choose my interface here. I'm trying to see where the heck it's at. Hang on. They moved it. Nah, they totally moved it. But anyhow, there's multiple... There's different kinds of patches you can choose. There's a simple patch. There's an advanced patch that lets you control right down to which text you have on there, which effect, which filter, etc. Or you can have something simple that all it does is just bring these up and down. And there's even an auto patch option. So it just really takes a lot of the guesswork out of it completely. Let me see real quick one more time. There's QPlayer, CleanNet, LED, Video Mapper, Show Settings. Yeah, Show Settings. That should be it. Okay, I got to find out where the heck it is because it used to be right here. But anyhow, you can still, choose the channels as far as your, you have your trigger channels, your parameter channels, your patch selection, a lot of cool stuff you can do. And actually, I'm going to close this guy for just a moment. And I'm going to run the previous version because I know where it's at there. So give me 1 second here. We're going to go into the 5.0.3, which is the current active version. Let's see, hang on. Sorry guys, I've got messages coming in through, and right now I am loading this. All right, I don't know who the hell Patrick Campbell is, but he can bug off. Seriously, you have volume control, blah, blah, blah. Have you used an external video card for these programs? Is there any that would put less... Oh, no, hold on a second. Well, okay. Well, for some reason, Mac, it put your message under Patrick's, like I'm looking at over here. Yeah, he's like, seriously, you have volume control on the layer. You turn your spout volume down. Do you actually do productions? Patrick, you're an idiot. If you actually paid attention, you would see this is Windows, or I mean Apple, and Apple doesn't have spout. So yeah, thanks for the troll there. Anyhow, again, this is the brand new beta, and they changed a few things in the beta, hence the term sneak peek. So right now what I am doing is I am launching the current version so you guys can kind of get a chance to see how that works. So I want to show you the DMX options on here because I already have it pre-mapped on my DMX and I don't want to have to drag and drop. So right now that's what we are bringing in. So Mike, sorry, I'm getting all bejumbled over here. He asked, have you ever used an external video card for these programs? Well, yeah, you kind of have to. You can't really use the internal computer one. Now, if you're talking about a Mac Mini, remember that Apple has your primary card, and then you have your discrete, and the discrete isn't activated until an output is plugged in, which is why they sell a lot of HDMI dummy plugs, which fake an HDMI monitor, so that way if you're logging into your computer remotely, you have the full GPU speed running, or if you're just accessing it temporarily. So give me a second here. Yes, we have this, blah, blah, blah. I'm running this on a different computer, and I'm going to drag it over so you guys can see it. There we go. Okay, so this is the current model over here, and let's go to our show settings there. Oh, I really wish I could go back and forth, but I guess I can't. But you can see here, I don't know if you guys saw it before, that it doesn't, the new version gives you a few more extra options, and you're allowed to, just like the current versions, you can choose how many trigger channels, how many parameter channels. So what are your parameter channels? These guys right here. And this is not a tutorial, so I'm only really covering what's new on there. The parameter channels are all still the same. You can have it select your volume. You can have it select your video, as far as your effects, etc. Pretty much whatever you want it to be. Same thing with your patch selection, brightness, master, etc., and so forth. Another big difference, and this is, yeah, the 5.03. I want to make sure here. You'll see that in the original, on the current version, not the beta, you are stuck with whatever network switch you're at. If it chooses the wrong one, well, you're out of luck. So now that you can choose that network switch, it does make it a lot better. You don't have to worry about plugging and unplugging them. That was one of the things that drove me nuts. I'm really glad they fixed that. And let's go back down over here. let's go into the LED mapper. I don't believe the current LED mapper has those extra options as well. Oh, actually it does. So the current LED mapper does allow you to, you have your network selection, but you can't edit it. You can't choose that IP range. So now the newer versions after 5.02 to now, it does allow you to choose your sender. So you can choose Mediamaster or your LED mapper, good for live testing. And you can also see a little bit of the traffic, what's coming in, what's coming out. So you have ArtNet in, ArtNet out. So you're not going to have this. I think this was fixed back in 5.02. You're not going to have where your ArtNet in or ArtNet out is clashing with your ArtNet in. And I've had that before. So they fixed that for quite some time, but it has definitely been improved from what I can see in 5.1. Yeah, sorry, Mike. YouTube put you and Patrick under the same icon. I don't understand why. And I'm like, wait, those were good questions. Oh, that's because those are Mike. And then all of a sudden, Patrick decided he was going to be a troll because he thought that this is Windows. And guys, just to make this very clear, this little apple here tells you that that's not Windows. And this tells you here that that's not Windows. So, Patrick, do you do productions? So, anyhow, any other questions, anything else, guys, please feel free to go ahead and answer as need or ask as need be, and I'll answer as much as possible. Let me go ahead and shut this one back down over here. I'm going to open the beta back up. So let's see here, 5.03. It's interesting because you guys can't see, but I have VMware running a different version of Sierra. So I'm basically running an operating system on top of another operating system. I like sandboxing my programs. I don't expect it to one mess with the other, but I was kind of hoping I would have enough oomph to run both at the same time. Oops, that's the wrong one. I was hoping I was going to have enough oomph to run both at the same time and show you the Media Hub. But I've done videos on the Media Hub. The Media Hub hasn't exactly changed. Moland, I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing your name. Mulholland Blue, Vango, web projector and computer, would you need to buy video map? As far as the shape of the video mapper, it doesn't matter. What matters is your computer, is having a little bit of oomph. At this point, I would recommend getting one of the i7s and a 1080 if you really want to go all out. You're not going to need a Quadro. I don't care what anybody says. And funny enough, Linus Tech Tips even already kind of covered this, that Quadro is not going to give you that big of a performance boost, it seems. I know that Archaea servers, they use the ATI cards, and they've had a lot of luck with the ATI cards, which to me I find funny since nobody had really developed for ATI, but Archaea seems to run great on these ATI cards. I have a few computers that are running the i5s with 16 gigs of RAM and 960 GTXs, and those are running great. I run the FTW edition, and I've had no issues. I can run about 4 1080p's or a couple 4Ks, and it works pretty well. The question is, once you have, let's say, 4 or 5 different layers, right, you could be running spout and live video, and if you're running Flash because you're doing an audio visual of any kind, that's where it gets confusing pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and kind of look through the program, see if there's any goodies that they may have not put in here yet. I got the log file, and the log file is a lot of bug fixes, a lot of improvements. Text management, I don't think that's changed. Nope, you have your usual text management, and don't forget, guys, that in version 5, you can also add a text or subtitle file. So what that allows you to do is you can add lyrics. So if you have any kind of lyrics player that you need to run through and you don't want to have to use ProPresenter, you can do it in Archaeus. Timecode offset's pretty obvious. If you guys have not seen my video on timecode, please make sure to watch that. Let's see what else we have here. Again, no other Easter eggs that I know of. Output management, I know there's nothing there. Show settings, we just covered that. We have, there we go, there's all your Q player options. You've got a couple extra MIDI options here. You have your keyboard, and you can do the toggle. Let me see real quick. Yeah, you got your toggle latch there. So basically now I can latch it. And why do you want that latch? Because with latch off, I have to hold it for it to work. With latch on, it's on or off. So I do like that. But that's been there for quite some time. We already saw the LED mapper. We saw the Q player. We saw release patch, releases patch, and then you have release all. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think they have any other little Easter eggs here, but let's look. Soft edge. No, that's all normal. There's our interface. God, I love that. You guys have no idea how happy that makes me. Let's see here. We have our MIDI inputs. We'll shut those off. We don't need them. We have our audio information. You now have your audio gain. Let's see, time code. That's nothing new. That's all been the same. That's the same. That's the same. And that seems to be all the same there. Mike Anderson asks, what options are available in the new Mediamaster to activate 2 or more layers at the same moment with a keyboard or trigger? Also, is there a way to activate one layer and tell it to act? Okay, hold on. What options are available in the new Mediamaster to activate 2 or more layers at the same time or the same moment with a keystroke or trigger? Let's go with that real quick. I've actually asked him about that because I know or Grand VJ has it. So let's go ahead and take a look here. We're going to go to our edit. Oh, that's edit visual parameters. That's for, what's it called? Well, actually, hold on a second. Do all look? Okay, that's definitely new here. Look at that. They cleaned that up. Yeah, they totally cleaned this up. Guys, if you're used to the other version of Mediamaster, this is much cleaner. Instead of everything being in one big window and, you know, some people didn't like that or whatever, you now have everything where it's individual sections. So we have our effect, we have our position. I don't know how I feel about this, but okay. I'm not going to hate on it because it's a little bit cleaner now that, you know, you can go through. So let's go ahead and try that out, Mike. I'm going to go ahead and choose my key as a B right there. Okay. There it is, Mike. Ha! You can do both. And I think you know, now that I'm saying that, I think you're able to do that in the last version. I don't remember that, but there you go. So let's go ahead and give that a try, shall we? So we're going to go ahead and choose this over here. We're going to have this be in the foreground, and we're going to do our mixing to replace black. Oops. Good thing I do this for a living. Learn, we're going to do B. And for this, we'll choose C. There you go. And there it is. Woohoo! That's exciting. Mulholland Blue asks, what projector would I suggest for a wedding cake? It depends how far away you are. I've got a couple of short throws, and I use the BenQ, the 636 MST, I believe is what it is. I know that, oh goodness, Mike, help me out here. Mike Anderson has a projector. It does a pretty good long throw as well. Vivitech has some with interchangeable lenses. Epson has one. You know, projectorpeople.com. Contact them. They are really good. They are the projector people. I don't do a lot of long throw projection. I try to do short throw where at all possible. But for the most part, I use all BenQ. And I don't remember model numbers. I apologize. I'm horrible with model numbers when it comes to projectors because those things are throwaways. Like you buy one projector and by the time the bulb blows out, you can just buy a new one. I'm sorry that my answer was so useless for that. Mike asks also, is there a way to activate one layer and tell it to activate the next layer 20 seconds after, like a timeline for triggering? Yes, Mike. What you are asking about is in QPlayer that was available after, I want to say 4.2.3. And I've done a video on that, so go to gearitfirst.com, click on tutorials, Mediamaster, and then check QPlayer. You'll see all that information in there. SLS asks, have I tried Arena 5? I've not tried the latest version, but I've had to use it. I was personally never a fan. I find Arceus to be much better laid out. I find it to be simpler, and I don't like having to click multiple things to get to one point, especially when it comes to video. I need to do it as quickly as possible. Yes, there are some things that Arena has that are really cool, but nothing that I necessarily need or nothing that Arceus can't do already. So for me, I stick with Arceus. I've been really happy with it. And my goodness, I ran it on this. I wish I had the laptop with me. I ran on this old-ass laptop with an Intel Atom processor. I just needed to play a 1080p video and have some basic mixing out of one output, and it handled it like a champ. So, yeah, that's, you know, you guys know me. I'm very software specific when it comes to that. So I'm hoping that answers all the questions. I know there was one more thing, and I'm trying to find it, and it's driving me nuts that I cannot find it on here because... Oh, why does Apple do that? Emoji and symbols. Like, I actually had somebody ask me, hey, how do you put emojis into Mediamaster? What? Well, it says emoji and symbols. Yeah, no, not quite. Not quite. I don't know if you guys are familiar with output management. There's definitely no Easter eggs there. But basically, I can go here. I can, you know, call an output and then have all the different outputs saved on there. And yeah, that's it. Oh, Ha, I know what I wanted to show you. We were talking about the auto patch. Let me go ahead and restart this program. We're going to start it in fixture mode. Fixture mode has much more advanced DMX mapping. So we're going to open up our fixture mode for Mediamaster and see if there's any little special hidden surprises there. Now, fixture mode, some people actually prefer running fixture mode, busking it live. I prefer theater mode, which is what you just saw. Fixture mode is really when you're pairing it up with a DMX console of some kind. So here it is right here. I'm going to go into Mediamaster. We have our preferences. I'm going to go into our DMX. And here it is. So I can have the auto patch option, but I can choose, for example, there's layer extended, layer full 1.0, 1.1, then mini, tiny 1.1, 1.0. Arnoldo, what does that mean? If you go to the help document, it will show you what each of them are. So let's go ahead and open that up, shall we? Let's go into our documentation. You know, guys, I got to tell you, I'm really annoyed. I do these free live streams. You know, nobody pays me to do these things. And then I have people like Patrick to come in and just do nothing but complain. Okay, real quick. So Mike says, Optima EH515, go with the native resolution of 1920 by 1080. And he says, or less expensive HD projector, high resolution is the Optima EH504 Wi-Fi. And one of the important things when you're talking about cake mapping is that you are going to get very detailed. So you want a projector that does not have the grid, you know, the mesh screen. So you'd want to go something that is very high res. Mike, thank you very much because I'm horrible with model numbers. So let me go ahead and go into layer tiny. Yeah, I'm just typing that. So basically, just so I can find him. So you choose which option you want, and then you have your, if you don't have a profile made or a trait profile made for your DMX software, you need to have one made. You know, but CompuShow is super easy. But basically, I'm going to go over here, and for example, layer tiny. You have your DMX channel 1 is dimmer. DMX 2 is your visual library. DMX channel 3 is file, and so forth. And then the extended is where you can control everything. Let me go and find that thing because that is ridiculous. So we have dimmer. You have your visual library, so you can choose which visual library. You have, come on. You can choose your individual file within the folder in the library. You can control the volume. You have your volume pan, your aspect ratio, your effects library, your regular effects, your FX parameters, your text, your shape, tiling, copy mode, mask. My goodness, you can even control your mask width, your smoothness, your speed and time code offset. You have your looping mode, your looping in, fine, out. Can you imagine trying to make this profile? And I had James Keeley from Malaysia make one for CompuShow. I feel so bad for him. You have your scale X, your rotation X, fine. I mean, it's every little thing you could imagine to basically turn Mediamaster into a lighting fixture that you're able to control. And if you're using anything with a CITP, MSEX, MSEX protocol, then yeah, pretty much you can control your entire show, everything, including previewing it on your DMX console. All right, let's see if we've got any surprises on fixture mode here. Let's see, we've got... No, that seems to be all the same. So, see, you got to click around because they do add and reshape little things that they may not have told you about. Yeah, looks like that's it. So this definitely, you know, I'm going to real quick go back down here for a second. No, so I mean, that's pretty much it there. You are good to rock and roll. They made that. It's actually, I'll tell you what, it's a hell of a lot snappier, that's for sure. So we'll bring that up. So that's essentially fixture mode in a pinch. Don't forget that you can change your arrangement of how you'd like them done. You can do a 3x2. You can do 12x3, 12x1, whatever. I'm going to leave right now on a 4x3. You can change your preview style, your text style, your text background. You can even just have the overlay playback timing, very similar to a more sophisticated camera system or whatever. or camera system. What is it called? There was a multicast, simulcast, or whatever, and it basically, to me, it looks like that. So yeah, guys, that's it. That is Mediamaster. Thank you all so much. Again, sorry if I sound a little frambuzzled. I'm keeping an eye on the chat. I'm keeping on texts that are coming in because I've got a live stream coming up. And I'm trying to figure this stuff out at the same time you guys are, because the 5.1 is very different than the beta that I received, or was an alpha, that I received a few weeks ago. Things change. These developers at Arceus, they work fast. And they really surprised me with that little add-on where now the screen is in individual tabs. Still don't know how I feel about that. It's a lot cleaner, but I'm not sure if I want to double-click like at an event. Oh, crap, I got to click here and click here to get to one thing. But if I prepare my show, it's going to be a lot easier for me to see, because I do remember, like, I see that screen pop up and I'm trying to move everywhere. So those tabs I think I will wind up liking in the end. So remember, you can go to Arceus Pro, I believe. Let me double check what the address is, because they have a couple different addresses. So yeah, arceuspro.com. You can go ahead and download it now, even if you don't have a license. You can download it, and it'll run just fine. It'll just flash demo every 5 minutes or so. But guys, thank you so much. My name is Arnaldo Wofferman here at Gear It First. If you guys have any questions, comments, if there's anything that I can answer for you, please let me know, and I'll be more than happy to do my best to give you a satisfactory answer. Just leave it in the comments below. Patrick, thanks so much for watching. Everybody else, thank you sincerely for watching. Have a great evening, good night, and God bless. And my outro.